right, we're now looking at 6A.3. We're going to look at partitioning a line segment. So, some vocabulary, a midpoint. This is a new board. We're going to work through the pains of trying to write on a new board. The point halfway between 2 points. Okay, so the point halfway between 2 points. So your midpoint formula is really point 1 plus point 2 divided by 2. Okay. So I kind of think of the midpoint as finding the average of 2 points. Okay, the point right in the middle of them. Then we have our distance formula. Our distance formula is this really long formula when we're talking about the distance between 2 points. Okay. And what these like 2's and 1's mean, so this is the distance equals the square root of, it's x2, so the x value of your second point minus the x value of your first point, and then you square it, and the y value of your second point minus the y value of your first point squared. How I always think of distance, I never really use the distance formula when I have the point coordinates. I just use, it's really the same as Pythagorean theorem. If you think about a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and we're solving for c, c equals the square root of a squared plus b squared. So your distance is your c. Really all x2 minus x1 gives you is your distance between those 2 points, and b gives y2 minus y1 is also a distance. It's the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. So we'll do like one, as we get into it, we'll probably do like one problem where I show you the distance formula. And then after that, I'm really just going to use Pythagorean theorem. I find it easier, and since we already know it, we don't have to memorize a new thing. We're actually not really going to use much of the distance formula in this first one. We're going to use more on target B. So let's look at our first example. Find the midpoint of each segment. So looking at our first one, I have -2, 3, and B is 4, -7. So again, we're going to add our 2 points together. And then we're going to divide by 2. Right, we're taking the average of them. So when we add 2 points together, we're really adding our x's with our x and our y with our y. So this is really -2 plus 4, which is +2, and 3 plus -7, which is -4. So this with this, and this with this, when we're adding points. And then dividing, same thing, I'm kind of dividing each value. So I'm dividing x and y. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, -4 divided by 2 is -2. I could do example 1 the same way. However, I'm going to look at it with kind of just, we have a graph. So I'm going to look at it by using the graph. If we go, I always do y first because I think of slope. So I'm going up. I went up 5. And then to get to this point, we go over 9. So my x value comes from this 9. It's left and right. I only want to go half the way, so I want the midpoint. So that's going to be 4.5. And for my y, same thing. I go a total of 5. I only want to go half the way. That's 2.5. So if I go 2.5 up, I get to about here, right? And then I want to go 4.5 over. 1, 2, 3, 4.5. I get to about there. Okay, and with the 0.5s, it's a little odd, but it is just in the middle. All right, and you should be on the line. It's a good way to check if you did your work right. You should still be on that line. And I'm just going to write down what that point is. This point is 1.5, 3.5. Okay. So this is 2 different ways. This way is really easy if you just are given the points. This way I like for if I have it drawn, if I already have a graph. And it's going to make, if you think about it this way, it makes what we're doing in the next section easier as well. Okay, so example 2, now we are actually partitioning. So partitioning is like finding a midpoint, but it might not be in the middle. I can like break it into any size pieces, really. So example 2 says find the coordinates of P that partitions the line segment 3, 5 with endpoints A and B. So this is our ratio. And basically we want to rewrite that ratio as a fraction. So really it's saying go 3 parts. And then we have another 5 parts on the other end. So I have a total of 8 parts. Let me rewrite that. Too big. Oh, sorry. Okay, so go 3 parts out of 8 parts. So basically we rewrite it as a fraction. We say I want to go 3 out of 3 plus 5, which is 3 out of 8. So that's where that 8 comes from. Okay. So we always want to start by changing our ratio into a fraction. Then I'm going to do the same thing we just did. Instead of going 1/2 of the way, right, if I was finding the midpoint, now I want to go 3/8 of the way. So I'm going to see how far up I go. Here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then how far over we go. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 16. So we count all those. So we have 16 times that 3/8. You can use a calculator. Try doing it in your head. I like to do the division first. 16 divided by 8 is 2. and then times it by the 3 is 6. Makes it nice and easy to do in your head. But feel free to use a calculator. And then 8 times 3/8, because that's our y. And 8 divided by 8 is 1, times 3 is 3. So I want to go 3 up, 6 over. Right, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? It does hit still on the line, so that makes sense. So our point that it hits here is -2, -2. All right, we're going to do another example. Right. I'm sorry, guys, it keeps doing this. Okay, example 3. Find the coordinates of P that partitions the line segment 3 to 1 with endpoints C, sorry, 6, -5, and D, -2, -1. So I'm actually going to start by putting these 2 points on. So we have +6, -5. That's point C. We have to be very careful because this is our starting point. And then D is -2, -1. That's our ending point. Okay. These line segments do have direction. And whichever one comes first, you have to start at. So, writing our fraction, 3 to 1 is the same as 3 over 3 plus 1, which is 3/4. So I'm going up, and we're going up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So up 4 over 8. So your x is 8 times 3/4. And 8 times 3/4, again, mental math or a calculator, you get 6. Your other value there is 4. 4 times 3/4 is 3. So I'm going up 3 over 6. Okay, because again, we're starting here, going to there. So that point is 0, -2. Let's see if it does it this way. All right, looking at our next one. All right, same type of thing. Find the coordinates of Q that partitions the line segment 1, 2. With endpoints R, -7, -2, and S, 2, 4. So again, I'm going to start by drawing those points. R is at -7, -2. R is the start. 2, 4. S is the end. Starting from here to here. Okay. Writing our fraction, right? It's 1 over 1 plus 2, which is 1/3. So let's see how far we're actually going to start with. I'm going up 6. We're going over 9. Sorry, now I have the hiccups. So, multiplying our numbers, 6. I started with the wrong one. Start with x. 9 times 1/3. And 9 times 1/3 is 3. Six times 1/3 is 2. So I'm going up 2 over 3. I think my line's off a little bit. Now we get the point, -4, 0. Alright, and that is it. I think this is one of the more challenging parts of this. It's kind of it's not a lot of steps, but it's a lot of things to remember. So we'll be practicing it a lot tomorrow. Otherwise, have a great rest of your night.